My wedding dress was still soaked from the rain when I got the text, "You're fired. Consider it my gift to you. Ryan." He was my boss's son. Also my fiancé's best friend. I stood frozen outside the wedding hall, shaking, mascara running down my face, while everyone inside was raising toasts. I had just been publicly humiliated on the one day that was supposed to be mine. I couldn't understand why. Just 2 days ago, Ryan had been smiling at me, praising my project, even saying the company was lucky to have me. But now? Fired. Without reason. Without warning. And not in private, no, the message was clearly meant to crush me. My husband Liam's face turned pale when he saw it. But instead of comforting me, he said, "Let's not make a scene, Emma. Ryan probably has a reason." That's when I realized they planned this. Ryan. Liam. Maybe even others. I wanted to scream. But I smiled. I smiled so wide, they thought I was broken. What they didn't know was that for the past 6 months, I had been working on something behind their backs. Long nights. No weekends. No sleep. And now, for the first time in years, I was glad they underestimated me. Because I wasn't just another employee. I was the architect of the system their entire business ran on. And I had full control. But I said nothing. I walked back into the wedding hall like nothing had happened, greeted the guests, and whispered just one thing to myself: they chose the wrong day to mess with me. They didn't know I had already cloned the entire system 3 weeks ago, under a new name, a new identity, and a new license. While they were out celebrating fake partnerships and bragging about investor money, I was rewriting the core algorithm, the same one they now legally didn't own anymore. But of course, they didn't read the updated access logs. They never checked. Why would they? To them, I was just Emma, the quiet girl who took notes and made coffee. Later that evening, while the wedding party danced and posed for photos, Ryan approached me with that disgusting smirk. "Didn't think you'd come back inside," he said, sipping champagne. "Most girls would have broken down by now. But I gotta say, props." He clapped slowly. I just smiled. "Don't worry," I said. "You'll remember this day too." He thought it was a weak threat. But deep down, I could see the flicker of unease in his eyes. A glitch in his confidence. And Liam? He was avoiding me now. Whispering to his friends, taking calls outside, smiling awkwardly every time someone asked about our honeymoon plans. Because he knew what I knew. The job wasn't the only thing they took from me. They'd stolen something far worse, my trust. What they didn't realize was that the moment Ryan sent that message, I had already activated a silent protocol, something I had written for emergencies just like this. One line of code, hidden deep in the back end. It would shut down everything. But I wasn't going to use it, yet. Let them dance. Let them laugh. Let them raise toasts and talk about power and betrayal like it's a game. Because in exactly 72 hours, their empire, the one I secretly built for them, would start to collapse. And it would begin with one phone call, from Ryan's father. The man who hadn't spoken to me in months. The real owner of the company. The only person who knew what I was truly capable of. The call came at 6:12 a.m. 3 missed calls. Then a voice message from Mr. Carter, Ryan's father. "Emma, I just saw the numbers. Something's wrong. The system isn't syncing with the servers, and half of our clients are locked out. Call me back. Please. I need to know if this is you." I didn't reply. Instead, I opened my laptop, connected to the private mirror system I had created, and watched the chaos unfold live. Financial dashboards crashing. Email servers blinking red. Their entire $80 million pipeline freezing, client after client dropping off. They didn't know where the breach was. But I did. And Ryan? He was still sleeping. At 7:41 a.m., Liam called me in panic. "Emma, please. Whatever you're doing, just stop. This is bigger than just us." I let the call ring. No response. Because this was bigger than us. This was bigger than the wedding, the lies, the fake friendships. This was about every single time they laughed behind my back, every meeting where they forgot to include me. Every joke about Emma the coder girl who'll always stay behind the screen. I gave them a chance. I gave them everything. And now I was taking it all back, piece by piece. By 9 a.m., Carter's assistant showed up at my door. She wasn't here to threaten me. She was here to beg. "Mr. Carter is flying back early. He wants to meet you personally. He says this could sink the company, Emma." I looked at her, calm, dressed like nothing had changed. "Good," I said. "Maybe it should." What they didn't realize was this: I hadn't shut them down completely. Yet. I wanted Carter to come back. Because what I was about to show him would not only shock him, it would change everything he thought he knew about Ryan. "Mr. Carter. Arrived by noon, no security, no board members, no drama. Just him, tired, furious, and desperate. His face looked 20 years older than it did at the last company gala. He didn't say hello. He didn't even sit. He just threw a folder on the table. "I built this company from nothing, Emma," he said, his voice shaking. "Tell me this isn't what I think it is. Tell me you didn't do this." I slowly slid the folder back toward him. "I didn't do anything," I said. "I just stopped fixing your son's mess." He blinked. "What mess?" I opened my laptop and clicked one button. A live dashboard loaded, charts, logs, transactions, all tracing back to one name, Ryan Carter. $1.20 million in unauthorized transfers. Fake vendors. Ghost projects. And worst of all, he'd been hiding it using a module I wrote. A module only I could detect. I looked Mr. Carter in the eye. "Your son has been robbing you for almost 2 years. The only reason your company didn't collapse sooner is because I patched every single breach. Silently. Without pay. Without credit. While he got all the praise." Carter's mouth dropped. "Why didn't you tell me this earlier?" "Because I was too loyal," I replied. "And too stupid to think you'd believe me over your own blood." The silence in the room was loud. He sat down slowly. His hands trembled as he picked up the folder again, reading every page as if his entire world had just flipped. Then he said something I wasn't expecting. "Can you fix this?" I paused. "I can," I said. "But not for free. Not this time. And not without conditions." He looked up. "What conditions?" I leaned forward. "Fire Ryan. Publicly. Let everyone see it. And then, give me what I've earned." His eyes searched mine. "And what exactly have you earned, Emma?" I smiled for the first time. "Ownership." The boardroom was packed. Cameras. Investors. Executives. Even employees from other branches were watching the live stream. They thought it was just another routine announcement. Until Mr. Carter walked in with me by his side, and Ryan, already seated, looking confused. Then, Carter dropped the hammer. "In light of recent discoveries," he said, voice steady, "I'm officially terminating Ryan Carter from this company, effective immediately." The room gasped. Phones came out. Whispers turned into chaos. "And Ryan?" He stood up, pale, stunned. "Dad, what are you talking about?" "You can't do this, I should have done it years ago," Carter snapped. "You stole. You lied. And you used people who were better than you." Then he turned to me. "And from this moment forward, Emma will be stepping in as my partner. She owns 45% of this company. And if you don't like it, you're free to leave." You could feel the shift in the air. Some clapped. Some stared. "Ryan?" He looked like he'd been punched in the chest. He tried to speak, but the words wouldn't come out. That smug smirk, gone. That fake confidence? Crushed under the weight of reality. I didn't gloat. I didn't need to. Because everyone saw what he tried to destroy, now standing taller than ever. "And Liam?" He texted me later that night, "Can we talk?" I didn't reply. Instead, I booked a flight. Business class. On a private jet. Because when you go from being fired on your wedding day, to owning the company they tried to bury you in, you don't look back. You build higher. You fly further. And you make damn sure they never forget your name.